Welcome back to Wild Space, everybody. With Lawless Time coming out this week and rotation coming into play, we have a fun send-off for sets 1 through 3 here. We're doing a trilogy format with the extra wrinkle of a fantasy draft. So for those of you that have been missing out on fantasy football season since it ended, this will be interesting for you. And if you've never done a draft of this style, I think it'll be entertaining as well. So let's talk about the rules a little bit here. Each of us are going to be drafting 5 cards of each aspect. That might be a neutral card, it could be heroism or villainy cards. So whether you take Overwhelming Barrage, or whether you take Resupply, or whether you take Keller and Beck, those are all command cards. They count towards your pool. Any card that you draft is going to be yours and yours alone. So other players will not be able to play with those cards in their decks. So this makes deck building a little bit extra strategic. It's really fun a lot of the time if you can get a card that you really wanted, and frustrating when your opponents take the card that you want. We'll each be drafting 4 leaders, 1 of each aspect color, and then we'll pick 3 of those to ultimately build our decks from. But the 4th one will give us some options. And then you'll get 2 wildcard slots. So this can be a base or a villainy or heroism only card, like I Am Your Father or Wing Leader, something like that. Or it could be a double up in one of the other categories. So you might take a 6th aggression card, or you might take a 5th leader or something like that. And then when you have your pool together, we're going to build some decks and play some trilogy matches and see how it goes. So, without further ado, let's get into the draft. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Wild Space. Today we have an exciting draft for you, and I'm here with 3 of my friends and fantasy football / hockey enthusiasts, Randy, Steve, and Darren. Before we get started, they're going to tell us a little bit about their card game experience or fantasy sports experience, if you want. Either is valid in this draft, and how they got into Star Wars. Randy, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I've been playing cards for 30 years. I think I met Aaron at that time for some Star Wars back in the day in Magic the Gathering. And I got into Star Wars Unlimited because Aaron started playing Star Wars Unlimited. So here we are. I also love football.
Go Seahawks.
Hawks.
Steve?
Yeah, I've got into card games through the Fantasy Flight games, what are they called? The living card games. So Game of Thrones, first edition, second edition, Netrunner, stuff like that. And when I saw that they had a Star Wars game coming out, a second Star Wars game coming out, then I got interested and hooked up with some people in the community through Discord, and we have become a great community. Also, fantasy football is awesome. I've been commissioner as many times as I've been a league winner, which is a little bit. So that's great.
Nice. Darren?
Yeah, this is my first trading card game. Love Star Wars. Terrible at fantasy football. I went, I think, 0-1 this year, which was really exciting. Hopefully I'll do better tonight.
It was a rough year for me, too.
Yeah, bad times.
You didn't use your joke that we used in the test recording. Come on, that was gold. I'm gonna have to.
I was waiting for Pokemon.
I panicked.
Okay, we spun the wheel before we started recording, and Randy ended up with first pick. Technically, we have a 30-second timer for these picks. I will only start enforcing that if people are taking a really long time. Randy, first pick overall in the draft. You have 6 sets to choose from. What's your number 1 overall?
Resupply.
He's taking Resupply. All right.
Shoot.
So we are going to mark that in here. We're going to tag it with a little bit of green. And we're on to Steve.
Force throw.
He's going force throw. I mean, how can you not go with the band card, right? Pretty good. Pretty good. Darren?
I'm taking Super Laser Technician.
Okay. Built a good ramp off the table here. I think I'm gonna go for a leader. One of my favorite leaders. All right, and right about that time, we unfortunately encountered some audio issues, and my audio got a little scuffed. Again, an ongoing problem for me as I continue to try and fix various audio issues that I'm having. But I figured it was too fun of a event that we did to kind of just turn it into scrap. We didn't have enough time to reshoot. So we're going to call an audible, to use the fantasy football lingo, and present it to you in a different way. And then I'll put some clips in of the audio from the actual draft, so you get to see and hear a little bit of the banter going back and forth. Hopefully the kind of irritating metallic sound that showed up in my audio isn't too annoying. I'll try and keep it to an absolute minimum. But the good news is you get to see this beautiful visual presentation, which is a little nicer than what we had originally done there with the spreadsheet. So yeah, Randy had taken resupply, and then Steve followed with force throw. Darren went to super laser tech, and then we had audio issues when I took the first leader off the board, which was Han 1. And then, as with any fantasy draft, we do what's called a snake draft, where you go backwards in order then, and you just keep going back and forth. So I followed that with Luke Skywalker. And then Darren went to take Boba Fett, the leader, which is, always good to get a banned card in there. Then Steve followed that up with the first base off the board, Tarkin Town. Powerful base, so good to get that in as well. And then Randy continued the banned card trend with Triple Dark Raid, and immediately took Django so that he could get that combination together. Steve went with Overwhelming Barrage, and Darren then expressed some annoyance that he wanted OB in this spot, but he went with Energy Conversion Lab instead. I took Hotshot DL44 Blaster, thinking it can go in any deck. And then I took Anakin Skywalker, and this brought up some potential complications with the which versions of characters we were drafting. That is the Force version, the Legends of the Force, in case there was any doubt.
The Champion of Mortis.
Yes, that's right, that's right. And sorry, I guess I should be abbreviating these. Obviously, my Luke was the set one.
No, it was JTL.
That is definitely not set one.
No.
It was not set one. You did not specify.
It was the neutral heroic, or the heroic legends.
As lead commissioner, I'm overriding you both. All right, Darren, what do you got? Millennium Falcon came off the board next, which brought out some chirps and strong opinions on how my draft was shaping up.
Your Han 1 deck is looking real good right now.
Hey,
your stocks are dropping.
No resupply, no Millennium Falcon. Wow.
Hey,
all right.
I can play Han 1 blue, okay? Followed by Super Laser Blast, and then Han 2. Randy went with Surprise Strike as his wheel pick, and then we got into a series of picks where there was a little bit of banter back and forth.
I'll take Power of the Dark Side.
Okay.
Holy control, Batman.
Yeah.
If I have all the removal, then you can't remove my guys.
It's true.
I'll take Wrecker.
Mm-hmm. That's a classic.
Uh-oh. Wrecker ECL.
I'm definitely banning that deck.
No, please don't.
He's gonna psych you out. Put it in a different deck.
I'm splashing it in Boa.
I'm putting one in. One wrecker in each deck.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
It's the makeup.
steals.
That's the makeup for the Millennium Falcon miss. That's what
Yeah,
that is.
really, just
It's good
Timu
enough.
Falcon.
It's good enough.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll be fine. So yes, that was part of the Dark Side Wrecker and the Hauler. Then I went with Blue Leader, and Darren took Poe, which brought up some continued conversation about his deck selection.
You better be
You
quick
don't
to
know what I'm
improvise.
building. You don't know what I'm building. Hey, one hell of a pilot over here.
Yeah. Steve went with Karis, and then Randy got 2 picks in a row. And here's what he decided.
I'm gonna take my faithful first mate in Chewbacca.
That BTL Chewbacca?
That's the faithful first mate, Chewbacca. So whatever said.
The pilot?
The pilot.
Yeah, the pilot.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Confiscate.
Oh, you see what he did there, boys? So a nice little combo there to take a card and then take that card's counter, which was the kind of strategy that is fun in drafts like this, especially when you get back-to-back picks. Steve went with Vigilance, and then Darren took Sabine Leader. I went with some more Green Hero with Typho and Obi-Wan, and then Green Hero kept going, which is another thing that can happen once somebody starts kind of a run on a certain, card color or position, and people might scramble to get the good ones that are left. Forlom was next for Steve, and then we had Randy's next pick, which brought out the Peanut Gallery again.
I'll take Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
Rebellious.
The blue pilot.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you meant the blue 2/2.
No.
Yeah. There's so many options. The leader.
After Cassian fell, the dragon gets taken, and then Steve notices that he can make a tactical decision with his next pick.
You guys all have a yellow leader, right?
I'm definitely taking Cad in my wild. Forlom? Oh man, Steve, you're going down.
So he goes with Ki-Adi-Mundi there, saving his leader for later, since we've all got yellow leaders on the board. No Good to Me Dead comes out, and then my next pick also draws some more comments my way. I think we're going to commit to the path of double yellow and take Cunning.
You don't have to.
I don't have to, it's true, but
Okay.
it seems like my...
Double yellow without Millennium Falcon. That
Hey,
seems like a great move.
I got Stolen
Great
AT Hauler, man. Stolen AT Hauler, great card.
It's a great move.
Cunning, a Falconless Han Cunning deck. We'll see if we can make the most of it. Then Timely Intervention. And Takedown as some of the removal starts coming off the board. Then after Timely Intervention, we get some action on our next choice here.
Yeah, give me takedown.
Takedown. I would start singing some.
Do it. Sing the song. Sing the song.
Here, but my voice is so good that it would get copyright strike on our videos. So can't do that. And of course, Takedown. Takedown, of course, brings in the K-pop Demon Hunters reference. Great film, if you haven't seen it. Even if you don't have kids, great film. Avenger comes next, then 7-cost Vader. Waylay follows that, and then Bo-Katan. Darren adopts a new strategy with his next pick.
Give me Bamboozle.
Bamboozle. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Big move.
I'm hate drafting now.
Yeah.
I'm just taking all the cards I don't want to see played against me.
Figure out why he's taking that off the table in a little bit here. Maybe you can look at his picks and see what he's thinking. I try to get a little bit of removal, and then Darren goes with his second wildcard pick in Wing Leader, since he's got a base and a heroic card now. And Steve brings up, Steve takes Zuckuss, which brings up a question that hadn't been discussed before.
Are we allowed to offer trades?
Randy takes home 1, which is unfortunate for me since I'd stacked up all that green-blue hero, but that's what happens sometimes. And then McClunky comes off the table next. And then following this pick, Steve is going to take a card that's going to annoy Randy.
Let's say a Byzine.
You wanted to pair that with your McClunky, eh, Randy?
Just to take move. All right, that's all right. Here we go.
Yes, McClunky, and then one of its best targets goes off the table right away. Darren takes Victor Leader, and now maybe the Bamboozle looks a little more, makes a little more sense. I try to get some attachment removal, and then Cham, just a good all-around card. Crafty Smuggler goes, Maul goes, Crate Dragon goes, and then Randy stumbles into a problem.
Kiadi Mundi, the 4-cost. We must push on.
Already drafted.
Kiadi Mundi, we must push on.
Yeah. Steve drafted it like 4 or 5 picks ago.
He did?
Yeah.
Round
Oh,
10.
I'm building the wrong deck.
He ends up going with Green Devastator for some top end. Steve takes his first leader of the draft. That can be a strategy too, to kind of like wait on certain categories until the other people have kind of used up most of theirs. So his first leader comes pretty late compared to our leaders. Darren follows that immediately by taking Snoke away. And then round up my green with Keller and Beck. And take a No Glory. Fang Fighter for Darren. And Steve doubles up with another leader. He didn't want to let Cad Bane go too long in case one of us wanted to use a wild card to totally hose him, since he had the 4-Lom Zuckuss and Byzine set up there. Randy takes Palp, which kind of shows why the yellow villain cards were being really fought over there, with somebody building Cad Bane, Boba in the mix, and Palp Yellow in the mix, and Django actually. So, and then he goes with Sneak Attack right away as well. Steve snags Greedo, and Darren goes with Vader Pilot, revealing his Bamboozle angle earlier. I take an Entrenched and a red 5. Darren goes with 4 Cause, continuing to stack his Sabine deck. And Steve gets Yoda as one of his wild cards, since it is a second blue leader, which Randy was a little bit annoyed at. I think he was going to maybe try and pull out Yoda green hero there in the end. But he takes the red Devastator and then decides to go for Talzin as his blue leader. Steve takes Ruthless Raider. Darren takes Planetary Bombardment. I take a couple of yellow villainy ships, thinking I might play Gar Yellow as one of my leaders. The Boba Fett unit goes, Piet goes, Force Lightning, and Chirrut goes to strengthen the Talzin deck there. Walker, Pershing, Tech, and DJ. I didn't want to leave those off the table for too long in case somebody decided just to hate draft DJ away. Then Perilous, Force Choke, IG 2000 Rivals Fall, which probably that stuck around longer than I expected it to. I think that was maybe one that I maybe should have taken earlier instead of one of the other cards. And then we get into the classic Star Wars example of what to do when we don't know the name of a card.
I'll grab. What's that? That green event that captures things now.
Nice.
We're so good at this.
We'll figure it out what the name is and put the name in there later when you guys are
Yeah,
building decks.
we'll get our best people on it.
So a little bit of fun there. Obviously, that card is charged with corruption, but yeah, totally legit. If you're having a game and you need to use a Bayesian or a Galen or so, you can describe the card so that your opponent knows what you're talking about. That is a fair play. Condemn goes, then I end up taking Ray since I needed a blue leader and I have to use all that green hero that I drafted. And then I make a mistake that we don't notice. I use Kaz and I draft him as my red leader. And I played a lot of Kaz, but in my head, oh, Trent runs a red card. Kaz is red, forgetting that I play Kaz Tarkentown, so he can't be a red leader. But and nobody noticed it. I didn't notice it, and so I apologize for the faulty draft. Craven Power goes, Miss Hunter goes, Shatterpoint as some more nice removal. Then Obi-Wan to round out kind of our last row here. Relentless, Traitorous, Sabine's Masterpiece as a wild card, which technically I shouldn't have been able to deny from other people. I should have had to spend my Kaz, my wild card on the Kaz pick. It should have been open for everybody. I think the only person that would have played it is Darren in his Sabine deck. We'll talk about that in the next video if it affected the draft at all. And then I need a green leader. I take Tarkin. Darren rounds out with Kylo. Anakin for Steve. And then before Randy's last pick, there is some psychological implications of the pick.
I mean, this is the pick that doesn't matter. So it's just hate. I'm hating on somebody is what I'm doing. It's part of me that I was like, should I take Fett's Fire Spray so that the Boba doesn't have Fett's Fire Spray? Tarkin Kazuda. What does Kazuda have in it that's good?
Don't worry about it.
Not the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I know.
Trench Run.
Oh, Trench Run, yeah.
Trench Run is pretty good. I just don't want to get beat by Kazuda. So
Terrible. Trench Run's a terrible card. Don't worry about that card.
Shoot, I didn't have it. I can't believe you took my Ruthless Raider, Steve. That just really ticked me off, man.
You left it till then.
I'm gonna take Daring Raid.
So he ends up going with Daring Raid, which hurts Kaz a little bit, but it's a good card in Django, so not just a hate draft. And we're left with the pools. So here's Randy's pool. He's got Talzin, Palp, Hantu, Django, and then these are his sets of cards. He doubled up in the, or he took an extra red card as one of his wild card picks. Confiscate was the other. Steve's pool here, he has got 5 leaders to choose from. He used 3 of them. Did get the Tarkentown base, which is nice to have. And some good options there in his aspects. Darren's pool here with some strong leaders. And ECL, always something to be wary about. And then my pool as well. I was a little bit disappointed in myself. I think I kind of messed up my draft a little bit. At one point, I was thinking I was going to play Gar, so I started taking some of these yellow villain ships, when really in my head, I should have known that I couldn't do that because I needed a blue hero leader instead of a blue villain to use the Luke, and that I was going to pair all that command heroism cards with. And I kind of knew in the back of my head I was going to take Kaz just because I like that deck, and none of his really cards except for Falcon get played in other decks. Gets access to Trench Run and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I kind of messed up my draft a little bit. Could have been better, but it is what it is. So that is it for this video. Let me know who you think is going to do the best, what decks people are going to play, and who came out on top with the best picks in the draft. And then the next video that we will have some gameplay from our Trilogy matches. Until then, enjoy your journey.